CBS February 23rd.
I'm Sophia Murphy, 19 News, helping you better understand what's happening here at Michigan State Capitol, only on WZMQ 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the UP 200 returns to Marquette. We'll check out the action as sled dog racers from around the country took off on their journey. Plus, behind the scenes of the race, there's a hidden hub making it all possible. And local educators voice their frustrations over school funding delays to state lawmakers. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast. We had a very fun start to the UP 200. That started tonight. We had some coverage on it, and now we advance to Valentine's Day. There's lots going on. People are coming out of hibernation from that extreme cold. We have temperatures into the 40s for your Valentine's Day. The sun will be shining. We'll get some of that fog out of the way, and everyone across the UP will get in on those very comfortable and mild temperatures. I'll break down everything you need to know for your weekend in just a few short minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. The UP 200 is officially back on. Thousands made their way to the race start, with multiple sources saying the crowd was even bigger than last year. With the race starting at 7 p.m., each team waited 2 minutes at a time before being the next to hit the trail. They're expected to finish the 228-mile journey this Sunday at the Ojibwa Casino. During the race, attendees could warm up inside a number of downtown businesses, including Trinary Toast Cafe. The cafe partnered with Northern Michigan University to offer free hot chocolate, coffee, NMU swag, and a place to take a break from the cold. The staff also prepared more than 1,000 cinnamon rolls for guests. This is the fourth year the cafe has teamed up with the university, and organizers say the warm-up party is a special addition to all the fun of the UP 200.
They were excited to have a space downtown close to all the action that was local and UP staple. We're going to continue to do it as long as they ask. I hope we have fun tonight. Good luck to all the dogs and the racers, and everyone be safe out there.
Warm-up party goers also had an opportunity to meet with new NMU President Dr. Chris Olson and university mascot Wildcat Willie. Far from the cheering fans and the amazing animal athletes sprinting down Washington Street is the quiet nerve center of the UP 200, where all the logistics are handled. From up-to-the-minute weather forecasting, all emergency communications via ham radio, to tracking the locations of each team. The logistics center is critical to the success and safety of these sled dog races. For security reasons, the exact location is not widely known, but everyone involved in the race relies on these volunteers who take their jobs very seriously.
The Race Logistics Center is the place to be to get all of the information, because the judges, everyone, they look to us. Nothing else would happen in this race smoothly without us.
Because much of the race travels through remote areas with no cell service, the logistics center is staffed around the clock until the last team crosses the finish line. Hours before the UP 200 even began, people flocked to West Washington Street and in anticipation of the big event. Attendees could claim their viewing spot, check out the race trail, and visit local stores and restaurants. Shops like Chickadee's enjoyed a steady stream of customers throughout the afternoon. The owner says events like the UP 200 provide an annual boost in foot traffic for businesses during the slower winter months.
Every year we talk about it, take pictures, we share stories with people that come in during the summer, and they're like, you know, maybe we got to try the UP in the winter this year. It definitely brings people in.
Chickadee's owner says she's proud of the community for coming together to support the UP 200 pups and their mushers. The UP 200 also brought a number of politicians to Marquette for the weekend. State representatives and candidates for this year's upcoming election came to cheer on the sled dogs and share the love from all across Michigan. This included U.S. Senate candidate Mallory McMorrow attending her first UP 200, who says the experience is worth the trip no matter how far folks have to come from.
there's just so much energy. You know, this brings people from not only all across Michigan, all across the country, all across the world here to Marquette, to the Upper Peninsula, and it's just such a great celebration of the state. We have every season. We are not afraid of winter here. We celebrate, we come outside, and it's just awesome to see it.
Earlier today, we welcomed Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist in our Insight, or not for Insights, excuse me. Be sure to check out his take on the events on our website, WZMQ19.com. While these state legislators were in town for the sled dog races, they participated in a panel discussion at the Marquette Alger Regional Education Service Agency. WZMQ 19's Lily Simmons shows us what they had to say about school funding and what issues are frustrating local educators.
One hot-button topic legislators were asked to address was the 3-month delay in passing Michigan's most recent education budget.
I wonder why we're held to a July 1st deadline and the legislature is not. It seems a bit hypocritical. There's also the backroom bargains that are coming in at the 11th hour.
Senator Ed McBroom said that while he believed it would be passed on time, it's a major challenge to craft a budget that includes every legislator's priorities.
The House, under the new speaker there, really prioritized roads. Speaker Hall is a deal maker all the time. He sees everything as leverage to something else. He wanted what he wanted to get done and knew that the best leverage he had over the Senate was on the budget.
A few superintendents expressed concerns over school funding going to higher education institutions.
You see situations that feel a little bit counterintuitive, like some of our community colleges who are using some of this funding to provide scholarships and oftentimes athletic scholarships to people from out of state or who are international.
Representative Carl Bonack suggested that perhaps if the budget remained the same but higher education was separate, schools would have more funding to meet infrastructure needs.
You go to like Northern or Michigan Tech or Lake Superior State and the campus looks pristine, the buildings are great, and then you go to our local school districts and there's potholes in the parking lots. It's a problem.
Both state legislators and local educators agreed that a student's address shouldn't impact the quality of their education, and that the best way to ensure satisfied students, parents, and school administrators is through collaboration.
The budget process is always ongoing. Don't be shy to reach out to your legislator, your state senator, your state rep, text, call. We are only as good advocating for you as we hear from you.
My message to the legislators would be that we are a partner with them, and we are here to serve as a resource. So as they have questions, we can come alongside them and help inform that legislative process.
Reporting in Marquette, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
Northern Michigan University celebrated the rededication of Hardin Hall earlier this morning, marking the first phase of renovations designed to better support student learning and connection. The refreshed space includes new study rooms, updated paint, and expanded collaboration areas, all part of an effort to make the building feel more welcoming. University leaders say the goal is to bring key programs and resources together under one roof to strengthen support systems across campus.
The biggest thing that I'm excited about is that we've brought a lot of important people together to develop a collaborative network to support students.
Officials say additional updates, including artwork and design elements, are still to come as renovations continue. Team Michigan leaders gathered in downtown Marquette this afternoon for a winter-themed snow-breaking ceremony. The event marked the start of a new mixed-use development at 401 West Washington Street. The 4-story project will add 11 residential units, 2 commercial spaces, and indoor parking as part of a broader effort to strengthen density and support local businesses. Backed by a $1.5 million grant through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, the project aims to address a growing housing shortage across the UP.
We definitely have a great need for housing across the UP. So anytime we can add any housing units is great. We definitely need, I think Christopher Germain just said we need over 900 new units a year. We're clearly not hitting that, but any that we can add to chip away at those numbers is a great benefit.
Leaders say additions like this help move the region closer to fulfilling long-term community goals. Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast after the break. Plus, we'll hear more about the discussions Upper Peninsula lawmakers had during a recent trip to the nation's capital. And positive news for the U.S. economy with inflation showing another drop. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. Watch the Medical Minute, Thursdays at 6 and 11, only on 19 News. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare.
Do you wonder if you can predict winning Michigan lottery numbers by knowing which numbers were drawn before? That's actually a myth. Truth is, no matter how many times the number has been drawn before, it has an equal chance of being drawn again. There's no way to know. So, know the facts. If it stops being a game, call the helpline or visit our website. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Alan Cumming brought his Traders co-host, Fate of the Fashion, and we get into a little game.
The Statue of Liberty look, that's good. Oh, but then there's the bride.
Then soccer player Savvy King's incredible comeback.
You can come back from something and you can be stronger.
On J-Hood.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, Monday at 4 on WZMQ CBS. Followed by The Kelly Clarkson Show at 5 and 19 News at 6.
February is the month of love at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. With my popular annual Show Your Love 3 Ways Valentine packages that come with candy, a forever rose, and amazing selections of jewelry, you will show how much you love them. And let me help you with that month of love engagement ring. I strive to give you the very best experience. Your forever journey starts with my personal attention and commitment to perfection.
Richardson Jewelers.
There's no looking back.
Don't look back.
I wasn't really looking back, just remembering back.
Remember back.
What do you say we start from here?
With a rifleman.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. on WZMQ Me TV. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And the UP 200 kicked off tonight. We have a weekend that's really sharing the spotlight with lots of different events. The UP 200, Valentine's Day, we have President's Day on Monday, so it's going to be a long and fun weekend for a lot with all these events we have going on. And really the only thing you have to watch out for specifically on our watches and warnings page is a dense fog advisory, which is into Gogebic and Iron counties, and this lasts through 9 a.m. tomorrow. And it doesn't technically start until midnight, but we might see some visibility issues down that way starting within the next few minutes or so. But the good news is this isn't in the path of the UP 200. So just to show you some of the checkpoints here, I know the midnight race ends tomorrow morning, but I figured just give you a nice weekend outlook for the path of the race. Across Marquette, upper 30s and lower 40s with the sun shining, and we'll do very similar things down to Chatham with the sun and the temperatures, which is good news because, as I've said before, this time of the year, especially for the Upper Peninsula, it's a toss-up between major snowstorms or something like this. So we're getting very spring-like conditions for this weekend, and it is going to last all the way through President's Day. So enjoy the sun into Melstrand as well with mid-upper 30s and all the way up to Grand Marais where we do the little turnaround. We'll get some warmer temperatures up that way too. Remember, the normal high this time of the year is 24, so we're averaging a good 10, maybe 12 or 15 degrees above average, and no systems that we're tracking. There may be a stray snowflake or a raindrop here and there, but nothing major to deal with. We have the visibility issues with the fog out towards Iron River, but then we'll get the sun shining tomorrow, which should burn a lot of it off before the cloud cover returns. So Sunday, we are still setting up for a dry Sunday, but with the exception of a few snowflakes perhaps. And yeah, we'll keep the clouds there, but the temperatures will stay consistent into the above average range. So upper 20s, and we'll get some teens in there also, but this is the overnight look. Sometimes this is what our daily highs are looking like this time of the year. No, at about 10 o'clock or midnight, we're into the teens, and we soar up to the mid to upper 30s and even 40s in there for a good bit of the weekend, a good 72 hours of a sneak peek of spring before we go right back down to the cold. The winds aren't going to do too much here. Of course, from the south is going to help us warm things up. So overall, we are setting up for a solid A weekend, partly sunny to mostly cloudy, maybe a mixed sky with a few raindrops for your President's Day. There is no weather stopping you for any of your outdoor plans. And I'm showing you this jet stream just because we're talking about the warmth, which is what we're feeling right here all through your President's Day. Now, this is the day after that. This is your Mardi Gras, where we have the cold air knocking on the door to come right back, bring us down to reality. So you're going to see it right here on our 7-day, how long this warm up lasts. Upper 30s and lower 40s for your Valentine's Day, all the way until Mardi Gras. That's when we start to see those dropping temperatures. So your Ash Wednesday is when snow showers are likely returning to the area. We're back into the cloud cover and the cold for this time next week, where some more flurries persist.
Kelly, thank you again. Michigan House Republicans recently traveled to Washington, D.C. for a leadership summit with federal officials. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with one UP lawmaker who says the trip was about building relationships and advocating for regional priorities, especially as state budget negotiations heat up.
Michigan House Republicans traveled to the White House this week for a leadership summit, meeting with federal cabinet officials and trade leaders. Lawmakers were focused on bringing some of the top issues in rural Michigan to the attention of national leaders.
If you look at the UP, especially on the west end, we have some of the richest nickel ore bodies on the planet, and we're not tapping into that.
Representative Parker Fairbairn says he raised the issue of mining directly with federal trade officials, hoping to draw attention to the region's natural resources and economic potential. He also met with UP Congressman Jack Bergman, saying strengthening federal and state relationships was a major goal of the trip.
How can we work with the administration and the feds on policies that are good for both the state of Michigan and for us, and then all of America for Congress.
Fairbairn acknowledged some residents feel disconnected from federal decision-making, but says the meetings show leaders in Washington are still focused on local communities.
We're all human at the end of the day, and we're trying to do what's best for our districts. For these folks, it's America. For me, it's northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula.
Looking ahead, Fairbairn says those federal connections could play a role as lawmakers negotiate the state budget, with House Republicans prioritizing lower energy costs, healthcare affordability, and property tax reforms, pushing for support from federal officials as negotiations begin. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Turning now to encouraging news on the economy. Inflation cooled slightly more than expected in January, up 2.4% compared to last year, leaving Fed watchers wondering how the central bank will move on interest rates at their next meeting. But despite easing pressures, the report shows households are still facing higher prices for essentials. Jared Hill has a closer look.
President Trump has taken a victory lap with the latest news on inflation.
Very low inflation. We've brought costs way down.
January's consumer price index shows inflation at 2.4% compared to the same time last year.
You pair this with the pretty positive jobs report earlier this week, and things are looking up. We're a long way away from the stagflation concerns we had in the back half of last year.
Financial analyst Stephen Cates with Bankrate says this could be a positive signal for the Federal Reserve as the central bank weighs the future of interest rates. For the average consumer,
if they notice at all, they're simply going to notice that prices are not rising as fast as they used to be, but they're still rising.
The report shows the cost of clothing, airfare, housing, medical care, and food continued to climb.
We spend way more for groceries every week. Instead of like $150, we now spend like close to $200. And as far as major bills, it's everything. It's electricity, local taxes, everything has spiked. So yeah, we're not very happy.
Energy is also running hot. In a recent CBS News poll, a majority of Americans making under $100,000 a year said it was a hardship or difficult to pay for utilities.
Pay. We work, and still not enough money coming in.
While economists see the latest report as a sign prices are moving in the right direction, they're watching tax season and the impact of larger tax returns in President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
I think we're going to be in a situation where inflation is going to cool at an even slower pace,
inching closer to the Fed's 2% goal.
Mike Ludlam has your Friday night sports highlights when we return. He'll start with boys basketball with Marquette taking on Negaunee. We'll be right back.
I'm exhausted. Shopping for a mattress is just so confusing.
Sounds like mattress shopophobia.
At Slumberland, our sleep counselors are here to help you find the best mattress without any pressure.
But awesome pressure relief.
Slumberland. Stop stressing, start sleeping.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Live outside Marquette County? Every day, recycling is free at Recycle 906. Bring your cans, cardboard, plastics, and more. One day, one trip, a cleaner Upper Peninsula. See what we accept at recycle906.com.
Are you tired of seeing money all around the house? Then start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. And if we can't repair your covered item, we'll replace it.
I've saved thousands, and that makes me happy.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-395-5945. That's 800-395-5945.
As the world evolves, so do careers. And the number one question college students ask is, what's out there for me? NMU has programs for all 20 of the country's fastest growing career fields, including nursing, mechanical engineering, cybersecurity, climate control technology, and data science. Head north into a bright future at NMU.
Watch 19 News and Weather on YouTube. Just search and subscribe. WZMQ 19 News is always available for streaming 24/7, and it's free.
Even getting out of bed is a struggle.
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
And pain.
Good thing you came to Slumberland. This Temper Pro Adapt provides adaptive support and pressure relief to help you sleep.
Getting out of this bed is gonna be a struggle.
Slumberland. Stop stressing, start sleeping.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to tell you that Negaunee had a big victory earlier in the week in boys basketball, defeating Gladstone 60-52. Marquette had an easier time defeating Houghton at home. Those two teams, Marquette and Negaunee, met tonight with the Victor's Cup on the line once again. Now we're going to start with the halftime ceremony for Negaunee's 1976 boys basketball team. That team reached the state final in Class C, and some of this group also played on the 1975 squad that reached the semifinals. You might recognize that person right there, former NMU men's basketball coach Dean Ellis. Negaunee was coached by UP Sports Hall of Famer Dave Holgren, coached the Miners for 16 seasons, and overall in 22 years, he was 311 and 154. Now, back to the first quarter, Ethan Gauthier gets the ball to Cole Peckrell. Cole lines it up and knocks it down, but Negaunee trailed by double digits. Next for Marquette, Pavel McCutcheon turns and bounces that one in off the rim. Sentinels with an 18-5 lead. End of the quarter, Brody Clements finds the night deposit is open. 21-5 Sentinels going into the second quarter. Then off the miss, Clements will find Connor Firestein ahead of the pack for the layup. The Sentinels, I believe, were up 26-5 at that point, and they roll to the victory by the count of 65-35. Meanwhile, a good Great Northern Conference matchup tonight between Menominee and Gladstone. Talon Woods will hit his second straight three-pointer here, and the Maroons jump out to a 6-0 lead, which would become 13-2. Alex Prince for Gladstone to Will Ingram, and that one goes down with authority. Braves now in front, 26-22. Tight through the second half as Owen Giroux puts that one in. He had a career-high 21 points with 5 triples. Menominee up 152-51. Tanner Turkoff had 3 offensive fouls, but he gets that one to go to make it 55-51. He did finish with 20. Now, Woods to Jacob Schultz for the layup coming up here. Menominee had a 61-57 lead, and they hang on to win 65-62. To the scoreboard, Houghton 11 better than Escanaba, 52-41. Baraga upends Dollar Bay, 60-49. Lakeland and Hubble 49. Chessel 47. Did not hear from Bessemer and Wakefield Marinisco. Lodz defeated West Iron County 56-42. It was Iron Mountain 57, Barker Harris 36. North Dickinson and Trenton Kramer, a big night over Kearney NATO, 70-32. Norway trips up North Central, 68-52. Did not hear from Mid Peninsula and Rapid River. Manistee easily over Gwynn, 65-28. And it was Forest Park all over Munising, 85-51. Cedarville Detour sneaks past Newberry, 49-48. Did not hear from Engadine and Rudyard. And Traverse City Central almost doubled up Sault Ste. Marie, 67-35. In the Northern Lights Conference tournament at Lake Superior State this year, Beaver Island beat Paradise 45-23. Ojibwa Charter 13 better than Munising Baptist. Yes, you get to play doubleheaders on this day. Munising Baptist defeated Grand Marais, and it was Big Bay Denok 62, Maplewood Baptist 59. To the girls, and we go back to Lakeview Memorial Gym for Marquette and Negaunee. First quarter, the Miners were hitting from pretty good range as Gretel Johnson gets the return pass from Claire O'Donnell and rips that one down for a 3-0 Negaunee lead. For Marquette, after the Negaunee miss, Avery Osborne will get the dribble, and she will go coast to coast and put it up and in. But Negaunee was getting a decent lead early. Liliana Saunders stops back out to Eliana Park 4-3, and the Miners are up 13-5. On the inbound play for Marquette, Addison Kramer to Haley Taylor. Oops, not that time, but she keeps plugging away and puts it in on the second try. But Negaunee slowly pulled away to take care of this one, 48-27. Let's go over to Westwood High School, where the Menominee Maroons were visiting the Patriots, and a good start for the visitors. Gianni Caduti to Lexi Marino. That's good for 3, and the Maroons start with a 3-0 lead. After a Westwood miss, it will be Ella Barker looking up court and connecting with Rochelle Milostan. That's good for a layup and a 5-0 lead. Milostan, another bucket to make it 7-0 after a steal. Maroons were up 16-0 before McKenna Olson found Kaylin Doney for that triple after more than 6.5 minutes. But Menominee answered quickly. Renee Linsmeyer with the basket and the foul to make it 18-3. And the Maroons go home with a 64-38 victory over Westwood. To the girls' numbers, Maya Hemmer, a triple-double, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 12 steals, 82-30 over Manistee. Janessa Eagle had 22 for the Hematites as well. Forest Park trips up Norway in overtime, 57-55. We did not hear from Sault Ste. Marie and Traverse City Central. All in the, Northern Lights tournament, Big Bay Denok had no trouble at all with Hannahville. And we should have a couple more scores from that one. At least Mackinac Island over Beaver Island, 66-56. Michigan Tech hockey tonight at Lake Superior State. And in the second period, it would be Jack Anderson, the Winter Carnival Most Valuable Player, getting a goal there from Max Koskaperti and Steven Sardarian to make it 1-0 at 8:15. Then another power play goal at 9:03, and the Huskies had a 2-0 lead. However, they could not hang on. Lake Superior State and Tech played to an official 2-2 tie. The Lakers get the extra point with the shootout victory. To the scoreboard here, NMU and Ferris State played to a tie at 4, but it was the Bulldogs getting the extra point there. And a couple of 1-0 games tonight. Minnesota State defeated Bemidji State, and it was Bowling Green over Augustana. That one also by the count of 4-1. And when we come back, he said, bring the camera to me, we will check on Jeffers hockey and a little bit more from the high school ranks.
When you need a body shop, skip the corporate shops and outside investors. Go with your hometown body shop, Superior Collision. Our family opened Superior Collision in 2002, and we're still the ones who own and operate it today. Some places talk about community. We actually stand with our community, donating monthly back into Marquette County. When you need collision repair, choose Superior Collision, your local hometown body shop.
Race the savings now at Menards. We carry a great selection of automotive products, including AC Delco automotive batteries. They set the standard for performance and come with a 36-month free replacement warranty. Right now, get a $20 mail-in rebate on all AC Delco batteries. Power up your devices with Energizer batteries. Nothing outlasts the long-lasting power of Energizer Ultimate lithium batteries. Get a 4-pack of lithium batteries for $9.99.
Save big money at Menards.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports.
See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's the short list. Only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
I'm Sophia Murphy at the Capitol in Lansing, only on WZMQ 19 News.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Here's a deal you won't want to miss. For a limited time, when you buy 3 windows or doors, you'll get 1 free at the Window Store. You heard that right. Buy 3, get 1 free. Don't wait. Offer runs from February 2nd to February 27th. Give your home a fresh new look with our energy-efficient windows and stylish doors. Call today and start transforming your home with the Windows Store. Quality windows, doors, and unbeatable savings only at the Window Store.
And a final look of your forecast. We already had a fun-filled start to the weekend, and much more of that continues. Your watches and warnings just leaves a dense fog advisory out to Gogebic and Iron counties, and this does point to some visibility issues, maybe down to about 1/4 mile or less. So really be careful if you're traveling. It does scoot on into Wisconsin, and that should last a little bit into tomorrow morning, especially to the Iron Mountain areas, but we're going to feel really nice into the upper 30s and the lower 40s. The sun will be shining. The snow will be to a minimum. There may be a flake here and there, but that is a win for this time of the year. And as the UP 200 continues, I'm showing you all the way until Sunday morning, and I'll even advance it all the way to Sunday evening, where we are flatlined into that low chance of snow. Now we switch gears a little. This was well above average. It just changed though to a more normal. So enjoy this warmth we have coming your way for the weekend. Upper 30s, lower 40s with sunshine, no snow to impact us. And then by the time we get to Ash Wednesday, back to 30s with some snow showers.
Kelly, thank you. And Mike, you have more for us.
And let's go to high school hockey. Northland Pines out of Eagle River, Wisconsin, taking on the Jeffers Jets. Second period, Jets down 3-1, but Brogan Turner does something about that, and that puts the Jets back on the board within 3-2. On the power play, Max Nordstrom would slide that one in, and Blake Heltonen would get the game winner on the power play, and Jeffers goes on to win that one by the score of 4-3. Elsewhere, Escanaba and Calumet played to a tie at 2. Negaunee beats Gaylord 5-2. Marquette in overtime trips up Hancock 4-3, and it was Traverse City Central 2, Sault Ste. Marie nothing. In lacrosse, NMU opens the season with a 20-10 victory over the Calvin Knights, and I guess we're done.
Have a great weekend.
Lily Broadcasting stands with the people of Iran.
Why AAA? Because you're stuck in a rut, literally.
Because you're out of gas and in a pickle. Because stuff happens. And AAA is the most trusted roadside assistance. Join today at AAA.com.
Update your home with new GE appliances from Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. GE appliances are built to last, have print-resistant finishes,